So when we were teenagers, my brother and I had that little $20 track I told you about, and we actually hid it from our parents initially and had it up in the top of our wardrobe, up on a shelf, and we would stand up on stools and play with it up there. And eventually we owned up to it, confessed to our parents that we owned the thing, and then we would play with it. And then we got to use a really big track that was 3 lanes, and it was you know, a routed wooden track with copper tape that was down at the family church, and it had been built by a youth group of sort of older boys, I think, which didn't exist anymore. But the track would be leaned up against a wall, and we'd go down there on a Saturday and we'd haul this thing down. It'd come crashing down onto some old pews, and we'd spend an hour or more repairing the track and re-sticking down the copper tape. And there were some terrible old, you know, hand controllers, or guns we used to call them, which we had to keep patching up. Didn't work particularly well, but we would build our cars, test them at home on our little track, and then we'd take them down there and race against each other. My brother always would be beating me. Not sure what that's about. So I had this car. This body here was one of my cars that I built chassis for, and this body here was one of my brother's ones. Now the chassis in them are much later. Ones that I've kind of cobbled together from bits and pieces. We used to buy components from a model shop in Lower Hutt. You could buy wheels and axles and tyres and guide flags, and also there was a shop in Palmerston North that if we were travelling through there with the family, we'd beg to be allowed to stop and buy some bits and pieces. And so these 2 cars, I have them working. I didn't even know what this car was, because it was a lot harder to sort of research things until more recently with the internet. So it is a Ferrari, and I've done a lot of research on it now, and I've painted it the correct colour because I had it painted silver, and I've made it, you know, look reasonably good. It was actually all broken in this back corner, so I've rebuilt it. It's not beautiful at all, but hey, slot cars are moving too fast to see the fine detail most of the time anyway. So it's a great car to drive. It handles nicely, it slides, I really enjoy it. It's a Tamiya body. It's 1/24 scale, and this I think was just a kit set, probably car that my brother found somewhere, and it's the same scale, 1/24 scale. And he actually painted it with a red vivid marker. I've since touched up the paint a bit with some actual paint. So yeah, these 2 cars are quite fun as well. And these 2 controllers we bought back in those days as well, so matching hand controllers that we would use on that track, because we got fed up with the ones that were there that, you know, were falling to pieces.